Hey, welcome back to the very first episode of Addicted to Gear in 2019. Where does the time go? Guys, I had a fantastic time making the videos for you in 2018. I had a blast reviewing all the gear we talked about, and there's so much more to look forward to in 2019. I really hope you celebrated the end of 2018 in style with your friends and family, had an opportunity to say goodbye to the old while we look forward to the new. Now, today I wanted to take an opportunity to talk about the highlights, the 5 guitars that I thought were standout guitars in terms of either what they offered in terms of a guitar or how they actually turned out to be after some mods that I made in 2018. So I wanted to take the opportunity to discuss some of the highlights. And there's 5 specific guitars that I want to talk about here today. And I have them right here lined up on my rack, so I can talk about each and every one of them with you in a little bit more detail. So let's start off with this guitar. This guitar you might have seen very recently. This is a Gibson Les Paul 2016 model, and I purchased this, well, didn't really purchase it. I actually traded an amplifier for this guitar. That's the backstory. And the amplifier that I traded was my Mesa Boogie. I think I'm still hungover. My Mesa Boogie Triple Crown 50. The Triple Crown is a fantastic amplifier. Okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a great amplifier. In my opinion, it's probably among the best amplifiers that Mesa has out right now. Even better than the Mark V, the Fillmore 50. Definitely has nothing on the Triple Crown. The Triple Crown has a host of features, has great quality sounds, beautiful reverb. It's got, you know, the back panels full of like really flexible options that you can use. It's a killer amplifier. So why did I trade it? Well, I traded it because honestly, it wasn't the sound I was looking for. Mesa is it really has its own sound, okay? So if you're trying to emulate a Marshall sound with a Mesa, you're not gonna do it. If you're trying to emulate a Fender sound with a Mesa, you're not gonna do it. It's really its own thing. And, you know, I knew that going into it, but I was just blown by all, like I was overtaken by all the features and the great sound I was hearing from the amplifier that I kind of overlooked the fact that, you know, it was a great sound, but it was the sound that I wanted. Very modern sounding amplifier, and to me, I lean more towards the classic sounding amplifiers. So way more amplifier than I needed. Fantastic sounding for sure, but I wasn't playing it as much because I have other amplifiers that I play, and I couldn't justify keeping it. So when I had the opportunity to trade that amplifier for this guitar, I took up the trade because A, it's a great sounding, great looking guitar. 2016 model, still amongst, I think, among the better years for Gibson in terms of the guitars they were making. I felt that the 2017, 2018 models, you know, with all the turmoil that Gibson was facing at the time, they kind of, I think they were busy focusing on some other aspects of their business, and the core line kind of suffered in terms of features, quality of woods, workmanship, so on and so forth. But the 2016 models, in my opinion, were still the good models. Now, the only thing about this guitar is that the previous owner made a little mod. He put in an Invader type pickup in the bridge, which, you know, I'm not against experimenting with other types of pickups, but this doesn't look right to me. You know, you have a beautiful chrome cover pickup, then you have the Invader with the big hex bolts in there. I just don't like the look of this pickup. The sound is good. It's just the look that I don't like. So what I'm doing right now is I'm slowly in the midst of morphing this pickup into a classic looking pickup. So I actually took out the hex slugs in the upper position, replaced it with regular pickup slugs, and I'm going to be buying some more discreet hex screws to go into the bottom position. I didn't do it yet, but it's going to be done. And then I'm going to put a chrome cover back on it, so it's going to blend a whole bunch nicer into the aesthetics of what this guitar originally looked like. And I'll see if I like that pickup at that point, if I want to keep it in there or not. Eventually I might swap it out for something else, but for right now, that's what I wanted to do, because this model year has the PC board with the quick connects in it. So I don't have the quick connect adapters, I don't have a crimper, so it's a little bit harder for me to modify things out. So it's easier for me just to modify the pickup itself, and without necessarily losing the ability to play the guitar because it's being modified. So, overall the guitar has a great feel to it. And I think once these mods are done, it's going to be even better. One of the things that I really do like about this guitar is the fact that it came with a heavier set of strings. And I normally play hybrid slinkies, which are 9 gauge strings on the high E, and these are a set of Ernie Ball skinny tops, fat bottoms, which are definitely beefier strings that I'm used to. I used to play heavier gauge strings way back when. I used to actually play 11s at one point, and then I went all the way down to 9s, and now I finally realized after playing this guitar that 10s could be what I'm going to be after in 2019. So I think I'm going to go back to 10s, and I think I'm going to enjoy the sound of 10s because I really enjoy them on this guitar. This is not my only Telecaster. This is not my only Les Paul style guitar, right? But it's definitely a real sweet sounding guitar that I'm really going to enjoy playing the heck out of in 2018. So I'm super happy with the trade that I made, and I can't wait to play the crap out of this guitar. So definitely a highlight for me. This is sort of a, the upper end scale in terms of how much the guitar is worth. So not all of my guitars are necessarily expensive, and they don't need to be for me to enjoy them. And case in point is the next guitar, which is also a Les Paul style guitar, very similar in many ways to the last one, except the price. This is a Bacchus guitar, which is an import model that I picked up in 2018, and I love playing this guitar because number one, it has all the appointments of a Les Paul, like a real Gibson Les Paul, same configuration, which I love so much, all the way down to the tulip style tuners. And it definitely plays great, but what I really love about this guitar is the neck, because it's such a thin profile, very different from my other guitars that are Les Paul style guitars, that it justified buying the guitar just for the feel of the neck, because it really is effortless to play. And usually on import models like this, you're expecting lesser quality on the fretboard and the woods and stuff, but look at the top, it's like gorgeous. When I pulled out the stock pickups that were in here, the previous owner had a set of slash pickups from Seymour Duncan in here. So I removed them because I wasn't really after that sound. And I replaced them with a set of Porter pickups. These are Porter Anthem PAF style pickups. And when I actually replaced the pickups, I took a look in the cavity, and lo and behold, the top does not seem like it's a veneer. It actually seems like it's a thick maple cap. And I was blown away by that, because the amount of, the money this guitar is worth is very little compared to, the Gibson that I was holding in my hands 2 seconds ago. Yet it plays really, really nice. It sounds really great with these pickups. And this guitar with this pickup combination is killer. Porter pickups are knocking it out of the park. This is the second set of pickups that I tried from Porter, and both of them are keepers. Really nice. Definitely way more flexibility and versatility with these pickups than what I was getting out of my slash pickups. Nothing against Duncan's, and the slash pickups sound great if that's the sound you're after. But for me, I wanted something that was a little bit more open and airy sounding, and this pickup combination with this guitar, killer. So even though it's a budget guitar, really a fantastic buy, and this really stood out for me in 2018. All right, let's move on to the next guitar because we have a few more to go through here. The next one is this beautiful red Telecaster. This Telecaster, in 2018, I don't know, I had a love affair with road-worn Strats and Telecasters. I picked up this Telecaster and I also picked up a road-worn Stratocaster. And look, beautiful red. I have to say, something about red Telecasters, is just something that you need. And the fact that it's road worn, but it was an older model, means that the previous owner put most of the wear in this guitar, the dings and, buckle rash and all that kind of stuff. A lot of it is actually, honest to God, wear that you would get by playing the guitar. So, I understand people don't always get the idea of what the big fascination is with road-worn instruments, but I like to buy older road-worn instruments just because they're like a few years ahead of the normal wear that you would normally get yourself by playing the guitar. So this guitar with the beautiful worn neck and the apple candy apple red top really caught my eye, but it didn't come with this configuration. It actually came with a tortoise shell black and red pickguard with a Duncan 59 humbucker in the neck position, and in the bridge position there was a Tex-Mex single coil. So the reason why I modified the guitar was because the humbucker single coil combination wasn't really doing it for me in the Telecaster, because of the fact that Telecasters normally have a 250K pot in there and humbuckers really need a 500K pot. So we had to compromise, and I think there was a 375K pot so that it would kind of sound okay with both the humbucker and the single coil, but I always felt that it was kind of still not giving me everything that I can squeeze out of the guitar. So I decided to splurge and buy a set of Fender Texas Special Custom Shop pickups for the Telecaster, and I got myself a nice new pickguard, put it in this guitar with the proper pot, proper volume pot, and it just kills. Became one of my favorite Telecasters that I own right now. And I also enjoy this Telecaster because it does have 6 independent saddles as opposed to the vintage ones, which only had 3. And that was one of the reasons why I like this one too, because I didn't have that option on my other ones. So it's something that I don't like my guitars to all be the same. There's no point in having them all identical. So there's got to be something different in it. And for me, it was really the bridge, the pickup combination, and the fact that this one is road worn. Just killer guitar. Really one of my favorite Telecasters for 2018. Love it. Let's move on. Next, another Telecaster, but this one is not really about the Telecaster. Yes, this is my 52 reissue. I actually did an episode on this particular guitar mainly because of the pickups. This is not a model that I bought in 2018. I've had this guitar for quite a few years now, and yeah, people are often surprised by the fact that it's still in mint condition. There's not even any buckle rash on it, and that's because I hardly used it. For those of you who know me and have watched my videos, you'll understand that originally the 52 reissue pickups that were in this guitar didn't really do it for me. And at one point I even had a Squier Classic Vibe Telecaster that I was playing more than this one. I actually did a shootout between this guitar and the Classic Vibe, and many people actually preferred the sound of the Classic Vibe pickups to the actual 52 reissue pickups. And I was among those people that really didn't really bond with those original 52 reissue pickups. So what I did was I actually purchased a set of Porter pickups. That name comes up over and over again. This is a set of Porter Custom Telecaster pickups, and I put them in here because I was just fed up of not using the guitar, and I figured, you know what, I have this beautiful guitar, it plays great, it just doesn't sound the way I want it to sound. So I upgraded the pickups, put in the Porter pickups in this guitar, and it blew me away. Now the pickups just, I mean, I can't put the guitar down after changing the pickups. It's finally sounding the way I expected a 52 reissue to sound like, and it really does give me the bite and tonality that I'm after. So for me, these pickups, it's more about the pickups than the guitar, were a fantastic buy in 2018. So Porter pickups, 2 for 2, the Telecaster and the humbuckers. Definitely worth checking out. Definitely a highlight of 2018, and I'll hopefully have more reviews of the Porter pickups. I might actually put one in a set of in one of my Stratocasters actually, so we can see if the Telecaster and humbuckers, you know, sound just as good as what will go into my Strat, and hopefully it'll be 3 for 3. But definitely a great upgrade for my 52 reissue Telecaster. And last but not least in my discussion for today is this really great looking Fender 60s Strat. There's just something about a 60s Strat that I love. I don't know if it's the 3-tone sunburst, or, you know, the mint green pickguard, or the rosewood neck, or just a combination of all of that put together. But this is the second one that I have. I actually have a made in Japan version. This is actually a made in Mexico version. And to be honest with you, just as good. I was contemplating whether or not I needed a second one. And what I ended up doing was I played this one, and I realized that it was not the same feel as what I was getting on my Japanese version. The reason for that is the neck on this guitar definitely is more beefy. But it feels so right. Just feels fantastic to me. And when I tried it, I said, no, I have to buy this one too, because it's definitely not the same neck profile as what's on the Japanese one. But everything else, all the appointments are the same, and it just looks and feels and plays so well. Now, the only drawback to this guitar was the fact that it came with a set of Lawler blackface pickups. And nothing against Lawler, I think he makes fantastic pickups, but they just weren't doing it for me. So I had to swap them out. I mean, honestly, the only way I can describe them is that to me they were kind of very, very, a little too boring. They were just like too balanced. There was no real highlights to the sounds I was getting out of it. It was like driving a Cadillac. It feels good, but you don't really feel anything in terms of bumps in the road. You know, it's just like very, very flat sounding. And so that's not the sound I'm after. I like something that's going to be edgy, that's going to be squawky, it's going to give me the bite that I want. So I actually took them out and put in a set of City Limits from Tonerider, and these are considered budget pickups. They're not super expensive at all, but they're amongst the best pickups that I think Tonerider makes, and I already have them in another one of my Strats, and I just love them. And I put them into this guitar, and it just sounded right. It has all of the bite I want. The neck pickup is smooth. When you put in the in-between position, so you have the neck and middle pickup, it just sounds nice. And the bridge pickup is overwound slightly, so you can really dig into it and get that bite that you want when you're playing through a driven amplifier. Really great. So after switching up the pickups in this guitar, beautiful, beautiful guitar. You know, I just can't say enough good things about the 60s style Strats. They just do it for me. I don't know what it is. It's just that combination is just, I love to see the wood grain. You know, a lot of people like the color, the black, the white. You know, I like those colors too, but I really do love to see the grain of the wood. There's just something about it. You know, it just makes it look vintage for whatever reason. So I'm super happy with this guitar, and another great highlight for 2018 in terms of the instruments that we've checked out. And eventually I'll probably do a review between this one and the Japanese one, because they're so similar. People might say, oh, you know what, you know, do they really sound the same? Or, you know, it's hard to show you what a guitar feels like and plays like, because the sound is a big aspect of it, but it's not the only thing. And really, when a guitar feels right and just, you know, gives you the feedback that you want when you're playing it, that makes all the difference. And that's kind of hard to show you on a video, but eventually I might at least show you the difference between the Tonerider pickups on this one, and I have a custom shop set in the other one. It's a 54 custom shop pickup set in the Japanese one. So maybe we can compare the budget pickups in this guitar and the more expensive custom shop pickups in the other one. But anyways, we'll see when we get around to doing that. But that was basically number 5 in the series of guitars that I wanted to talk about today in terms of what really has made the collection very special in 2018. And I'm looking forward to reviewing a lot of the gear that I haven't already reviewed for you in 2019. I'm looking for the time to be able to do this. There's some other great pickups that I want to talk about. There's some cool pedals. There's one right here. There's actually 2 of them right here on my other amplifier that I need to talk to you about. There's a couple of great amplifiers right here behind me that I want to show you and make you hear as well. So there's going to be a lot of great stuff to talk about in 2019. We're going to be busy, and I'm looking forward to all of these video reviews that I'm going to be making for you guys. So thank you for tuning in and making this channel special. Thank you for sticking with me through 2018, and I'm looking forward to all the great video reviews we're going to be looking up and talking about in 2019. Guys, stay tuned, keep rocking. There'll be more great videos coming your way. See you soon.